forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Tuesday. It's October 3rd. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The fraud trial of former President Donald Trump is set to resume at the New York Supreme Court today. Trump has been accused by African-American State Attorney General Letitia James of inflating his net worth to get better terms from lenders and insurers. Trump has strongly criticized James, saying the case is part of the greatest witch hunt of all time. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is aiming to remove House Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his post. He filed a motion Monday to force a vote to overthrow McCarthy. The move comes after McCarthy worked with Democrats to pass a short-term funding bill to keep the government open, which conservative members of the conference were opposed to. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James said his son Bronny will play for USC this season. The 19-year-old freshman is still waiting to be cleared to resume basketball duties. That decision will come from doctors, LeBron, and LeBron's wife, Savannah. Bronny suffered a cardiac arrest on July 24th during a workout on the USC campus. He was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect. LeBron said Bronny underwent a successful surgery. He gave no timetable on when Bronny will be allowed to practice with the team. USC started practice on September 25th. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp got the okay to practice this week. Kupp has been out since August to treat a hamstring injury. He's eligible to come off injured reserve this week. If healthy and in shape, Kupp could be in the lineup for Sunday's game against Philadelphia at SoFi. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
On Monday, October 9th, don't miss the KBLA Talk 1580 exclusive. The tape. 1 year later.
Y'all were coming for us.
Yeah, but Tavis, that's not in my heart. I wasn't coming for anyone like that. I apologize, but that was not me. That's not in my heart. And like I said a few moments ago, I have a solid, demonstrable record of shared power that's real and concrete. That can't be misinterpreted.
Join Tavis Smiley and an all-star panel of political insiders, influencers, and journalists for a look back at the crisis that shook LA City Hall when 4 Latino leaders were caught on tape making racist, demeaning, and derogatory statements about black people and other fellow citizens. On Monday, October 9th, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, The Tape. 1 year later. We're broadcast live in afternoon drive from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. When all was said and done, was more said than done. 1 year later. Are there fractures in LA's black-brown political partnership? And where do we go from here? Don't miss The Tape. 1 year later. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Monday, October 9th. Live from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. We've got a lot to talk about.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
Good morning, and it is early in the morning, still dark outside. I'm not usually used to this. My name is not Dominique DiPrima. My name is Melina Abdullah, and I feel tremendously blessed to be sitting in the Queen of Radio's chair. Dominique DiPrima is traveling. We wish her traveling mercy and a successful journey with her child. Again, my name is Melina Abdullah, and I feel very blessed to be sitting in this chair. We open this morning and every morning with gratitude. We're grateful for life and breath and health. We're grateful for a sound mind and a body that works. We're grateful for our parents and our children and all of our family. We're grateful for our community, for our homes, for lights that turn on and water that runs. We're grateful for this land's indigenous people and the lives and labor of our African ancestors who built this nation. We're grateful for vision and grateful for purpose, grateful for love and light that we both receive and emanate wherever we go. As I come to the microphone this morning, I pray that I speak the right words, convey the right message, and bring the right energy. We open in the names of our most righteous warrior ancestors, and I ask that all listening take a deep breath in and breathe out and call on the names of those who are our most righteous warrior ancestors. I call on the name of Nat Turner, whose birthday was yesterday, who led the most successful rebellion of enslaved people in American history, who listened to the voice of God as he summoned him into struggle, and whose life was stolen, but spirit continues to course throughout every single revolutionary. The second name that we want to call on those whose behalf we struggle. So let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. We call on the name of Tyler Lewis, whose life was stolen by a white assailant on the campus of University at Buffalo. We'll be talking with his mother, Rokisha Lewis, in our 7 a.m. hour. And we're prayerful that as we lift his name, we do work to honor his memory and get some semblance of justice. And we take our third deep breath in and breathe out. And the third name that we call is of our bloodline or spirit line ancestor. You can think of whoever is waking you up this morning, summoning you into your greatest purpose. The one whose name I'm going to call is Mrs. Maxine Fowler, my grandmother. And I call on Grandma Mac in particular because she is the best conversationalist I know. So Grandma, please work with me, work through me, and help me to be a good talker because you were a good talker. So may this show serve as an offering to all of those whose name we called. My name is Melina Abdullah. I am co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and Black Lives Matter Grassroots, where I also serve as director. I'm professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State LA's College of Ethnic Studies, and I am single mama to Tandiwe, Amara, and Amen, my children who I'm sure are still sleeping. So I hope they get up even though I'm on the mic and not there to shake them into awakeness. Joining me in studio is Billion Godson. Thank you so much for getting up. Billion, you always roll with me. You keep me safe. You're my community partner. Gotcha. And in the car this morning, I said, how tired are you?
3 hours tired.
3 hours tired. Well, I'm grateful that you are stepping in and serving as co-host with me this morning, helping to make sure that I don't stumble too much. And then we got a lot to talk about, that we keep the energy flowing. So we always keep the energy flowing. I'm prayerful that the energy is flowing on the mic.
Yes.
So thank you. We got a lot to talk about this morning. today's show, the breakdown of today's show. In our 6 o'clock hour, we'll be blessed to be joined by BLMLA's Black Lives Matter Los Angeles' own Michael Williams. Michael Williams is the leader of our Pasadena team. He's been fighting for years for justice in the name of Kendrick McDade, justice in so many names, and he is going to be on the mic with us, breaking down not just what Black Lives Matter Los Angeles is doing, but also what's happening from a Black Lives Matter perspective. We're going to talk about everything from why this police chief must go, Michael Moore must go. There's actually a petition for that, tinyurl.com/Moore, MOORE, must go. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the audacity, and I mean that in the worst way, of this fool, Kevin De Leon, to say he is running for re-election. Running for re-election after he dragged black people, after he dragged indigenous people and renters, after he not only talked bad about black folks and hurt some black children, hurt a black child, but also harmed black community. This fool is running for re-election. We're going to talk about that with Michael Williams. We're also going to talk about the ongoing effort to support real unions and push out these fake police associations, which are not unions, which we protest every Wednesday. So that's in the 6 a.m. hour. In the 7 a.m. hour, we're going to talk with one of my favorite sisters. And, you know, we don't like that we were brought together in this manner, but she's a blessing to know. Sister Rokisha Lewis, who's the mother of Tyler Lewis. Tyler Lewis was a Buffalo State University student who was killed on the campus of University at Buffalo, stabbed to death by a white assailant. They won't even name the person who killed him. We're going to talk with Sister Rokisha Lewis about what justice looks like in the name of Tyler Lewis. And then for our final 8 a.m. hour, we're going to drink some water, do a little self-care as we hop into the self-care conversation, the ABCs of self-care with Sherry Betts. I'm going to ask her, what does self-care mean, and doesn't she mean healing justice? All that is coming forward. We invite you into the conversation. Our phone number is 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580, KBLA 1580. We got a lot to talk about.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
She's so smooth. I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, children are the future. Here, tobacco companies are committed to higher education, offering scholarships to students who submit essays about the benefits of vaping. The tobacco industry even sponsors summer camps for kids. Don't worry, the tobacco-sponsored programs have been linked to leaving your kids more interested in smoking. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the world's deadliest industry is your child's friend. See reality at undo.org.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
And Dominique DiPrima is absolutely my favorite morning show host, but I am not her. I get to sit in her chair this morning. My name is Melina Abdullah, and this is First Things First. We wish Sister Dominique a wonderful trip, traveling mercy. We pray for her as she travels with her child. So listen, Billion.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me in the studio. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about some of this stuff. We're going to talk about some of what's going on. We're going to talk about some of what Black Lives Matter is doing. In addition to you leading the Africa Town Coalition, you're also one of the first members of Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter was birthed right here in Los Angeles a little more than 10 years ago in Africa Town.
Yeah.
Right? So some of the work we're doing, you're very familiar with. And we're grateful to have you as a partner and a member of the Black Lives Matter team. I want to jump in and get your perspective. You know, we have this police chief, Michael Moore. Michael Moore, for First Things First listeners, we know that Michael Moore is a murderous police chief himself. He pulled the trigger in 3 shootings himself. He pulled the trigger in 3 shootings. And then he has misled Los Angeles Police Department as the most murderous police department in the entire nation. In 2023 alone, and the year is not done, we're just starting fall. We're only 3/4 of the way through the year. LAPD has shot 28 people, killing 17. And that's just what we know of. 28 people killing 17 people. And I always say, and for some folks who care about animals more than human life, they also killed 5 dogs, right? Wow. So if you care more about dogs than you do human beings, he's still the most murders. He's still got to go. Last week, Black Lives Matter launched a petition to remove Michael Moore. This is not our first call for the police chief to be removed. We asked the mayor as she was coming in to simply don't renew his contract, right? That's easy enough. In 2020, we asked the former mayor to remove Michael Moore, especially because not only is LAPD the most murderous, it's the most corrupt. We found that through research and study and part of our Push LA coalition, that LAPD is engaging in what they call pretextual stops, stopping Black people. In fact, we almost got stopped on our way here, right? Motorcycle cop pulling up behind us in traffic for no reason, right? They engage in these pretextual stops, these stops for no reason, because they're moving on a hunch, right? Black people are stopped at 3 times the rate of anybody else. We are stopped and searched in a car at 5 times our population share, right? We also know as uprisings, the city was in the midst of rebellion because of the murders of not only George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, but also murders that were happening right here of Dejon Kizee and Fred Williams and so many others, right? And that Michael Moore, and this is according to the study that they commissioned and paid for, Michael Moore actually ordered the assaults on people by police. So he ordered LAPD to shoot people with rubber bullets. He ordered LAPD to beat people with batons. He ordered LAPD. These are direct orders to fire upon us with pepper spray, right? He ordered all of these things. He personally issued those orders. And so we called on him to be removed in 2020, 2021. Garcetti didn't do it. So when it came time for his contract to be removed, we said, listen, Karen Bass, you said you were going to hold police accountable. We're not even asking you to fire anybody. Can you just not renew the contract of this police chief who's already been paid out almost $2 million in retirement? You know, can you just not renew his contract? She said it was too hard to deal with homelessness and search for a new chief at the same time. So no, right? She renewed his contract, right? We're now saying, look, this is a matter of life and death. Anytime you're talking about 28 people in just 3/4 of a year shot by police, 17 people killed by police, and 5 dogs, right? Scandal after scandal, that they're not turning on their body cams, that there are not just gangs within the LA County Sheriff's Department, but the more and more we examine it, it looks like there are gangs within LAPD. Yes. That they are, as they talking about thievery, we're going to stop retail theft. The police themselves are the dang thieves. I'm not making this up, people, right? The police themselves, when they stop people, they've been found out, these are LA Times articles, to be stealing people's debit cards and fraudulently using them. Right?
In fact, they stealing.
Yeah. They stealing cash from people they stop. They're the thieves.
Yeah.
They're the thieves. When we talk about the murder of people at the hands of LAPD, LAPD accounts for 8% of the homicides in this city. Of all the homicides, LAPD has committed 8% of them, right? So it's a matter of life and death. We must make sure that Michael Moore goes. There's a petition that Black Lives Matter Los Angeles launched. It's available at tinyurl.com/Moore must go, MOORE must go. What do you think of all this, Billion Godson?
He must go. Moore must go. I mean, it's political insanity. It's been proven for the past several years that the people of LA want funds redirected into what would prevent crime. So instead of just keep giving the police more money to commit more murders, to basically be dysfunctional, to make the city better would be to, redistribute the funds. So he's proven to have no regard for the people of this city. He's proven incompetent of getting the police under control. So in any other situation, a person who would head a company like that would be released. So it's time to do what makes sense.
That's right. It's time to do what makes sense. In Africatown, which some people call Lamert Park, do you see evidence of Moore's misleadership with LAPD?
Yes, several times, pretty much from the spring throughout the summer. A number of times we had to stop or de-escalate police who were claiming youngsters had guns. And in one situation, they didn't even go into the individual's car before they were claiming he had a gun. But we've seen numerous times where we, as a community, had to step up and respond and potentially prevent another person from being shot. So it's creating one of them situations where people are getting frustrated and it's a boil up. And, I saw the boil up in 92. I saw the boil up in 2020. And that's where people are at right now, between the police, the homelessness, and the lack of resources coming into our communities. That's where we're at right now.
That's right. That's right. The boil up is what you called it, the boil up. We also know that LAPD mishandles, they shouldn't be called in the first place,
Right.
but they mishandle our unhoused communities, right? We have an unhoused community in Africatown. How have you seen them respond to unhoused folks?
Very little patience, still taking people's property. Basically, it's like Pac-Man. They go, they find the encampment, see the encampment for a month or two, then tear the encampment down. The people relocate around the block. So again, it's insanity instead of resolution. We're seeing on Crenshaw during the evening traffic rush, people are being stopped more, and we're also noticing that it's a new face of police. A few years ago, it was majority white faces. The past few years, it had become black faces. Now it's becoming non-black, non-white faces, but with the same policies.
So non-black people of color patrolling black communities.
Right.
I say that there's no such thing as a black cop.
Right.
Right. Cops are blue.
Yes.
Is what I say. And we also know that there are folks who have disdain for black community. On some of the Instagram posts that you've put up with police in Africatown, especially on Sundays, it seems like the police who are unleashed on Africatown seem to have a particular disdain for black people. Am I misreading that?
That's exactly what we see. Like I said, the past few years, it had been black faces, and the hostility intentions weren't as such. But with this new group, is just as hostile as when it was majority white police. And because people here are tired, homeless, not having jobs, frustrated, so it's really creating a situation that's looking ugly.
So there was a moment, it seemed, especially in 2020 and 2021, where it seemed like we were winning this call to not just defund the police. I know not nobody, but most people have been programmed to not like that phrase anymore. I still say it. I want to defund the police.
Yes.
But what that means for me when we say defund the police is that let's take the resources, the almost $4 billion that goes to LAPD, and put it in things that actually keep the community safe. In 2020 and 2021, it seemed that we were moving, especially in Africatown, towards a model of community safety, where Africatown Coalition, where Skip's group, Second Call,
Yes.
right, was providing the community safety in Africatown, especially on the weekends. We would go, my children and I would go, and we wouldn't see police in Africatown.
Right.
And it seems like that's shifted. Am I seeing what I'm seeing?
Well, yeah, we know with Skip's group, Second Call, they're no longer being financed to do what they were doing. With us also, we have not received any support to, pay brothers who were out there with us from sometimes 6:30 in the morning to 7 in the evening. So it has become a lot more challenging, and with that, also we got community elements that rise up, that having more people out there we can prevent or even de-escalate. But now that we don't have that, we have seen a few situations where some community members are calling the police to bring them in, but other situations they have increased their patrols around the area for whatever reason. So these are some of the changes we've seen.
So this is a matter of, we'll come forward and talk about the role of budgets, but these choices, budgetary choices. My mentor, Dr. Julianne Melvo, always says that budgets are moral and ethical documents and they're zero-sum games. So if you put $4 billion into LAPD, you're not funding Second Call. You're not funding Africatown Coalition, even though these organizations, community safety has been what's actually kept Africatown safe.
Yes.
And police less so. In fact, they're causing some of the harms. When we come forward, we'll talk about the undue power that's given to police in Los Angeles and across the nation. My name is Melina Abdullah. We're talking with Billion Godson about lots of stuff, including LAPD.
Yes.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing a part of your Tuesday morning with us here on the Black Information Network. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest. New York City African-American Mayor Eric Adams is traveling to Central and Southern America to learn more about the asylum seeker journey to the United States. The mayor will meet with migrants, local and national officials on a 4-day trip starting tomorrow with stops in Mexico, Ecuador, and Colombia. Now to the United Auto Workers strike that has reportedly cost the U.S. economy nearly $4 billion. A new study from the Anderson Economic Group came up with the figure and cites lost wages for workers and more than $1 billion in manufacturing declines at GM, Ford, and Stellantis. The report also accounts for additional costs to suppliers, dealers, and consumers. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you choose from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. LeBron James said his son Bronny will play for USC this season. The 19-year-old freshman is still waiting to be cleared to resume basketball duties. That decision will come from doctors, LeBron, and LeBron's wife, Savannah. Bronny suffered a cardiac arrest on July 24th during a workout on the USC campus. He was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect. LeBron said Bronny underwent a successful surgery. He gave no timetable on when Bronny will be allowed to practice with the team. USC started practice on September 25th. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp got the okay to practice this week. Kupp has been out since August to treat a hamstring injury. He's eligible to come off injured reserve this week. If healthy and in shape, Kupp could be in the lineup for Sunday's game against Philadelphia at SoFi. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, children are the future. Here, tobacco companies are committed to higher education, offering scholarships to students who submit essays about the benefits of vaping. The tobacco industry even sponsors summer camps for kids. Don't worry, the tobacco-sponsored programs have been linked to leaving your kids more interested in smoking. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the world's deadliest industry is your child's friend.
See reality at undo.org.
What's up? I'm Danelle Riley, FAMU alumni and creator of the HBCU Culture Shop. I am so proud of my new partnership with Black Beyond Measure and Target. They help me elevate community pride with my HBCU designs and continue to support Black creators and entrepreneurs with Target HBCU challenges, scholarship programs, and campus collaborations. Let's come together this homecoming season and beyond. Shop my brand and discover other Black-owned products at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
At City National, we listen to you.
I want to expand my business and my legacy.
I want to set up the next generation for success.
I want to see my vision come to life.
I want to feel right at home. Your goals, passions, vision, future. We want to hear it and work alongside you to achieve it. Visit cnb.com to learn more. City National Bank. Here for our clients and communities.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news? Trending topics and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And my name is Melina Abdullah. I get to sit in Dominique's chair this morning. Sit in Dominique's chair, and we are wishing her traveling mercy as she travels with her child. We are in studio. Billion and I are in studio. Thank you so much, Billion, for always heeding the call. This time the call was, can you get on the mic with us? Right. But you're always up to it, and so we're grateful for you. We've been talking about the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles-driven effort to remove Chief Michael Moore as head of LAPD. We talked about the fact that LAPD is the most murderous law enforcement unit in the country. This year so far, they've already shot 28 people, killing 17 of them, and are enmeshed in scandal pretty much on a daily basis. If you open the paper, there's always a new scandal. There's always a new scandal. And Michael Moore is at the top of that organization. We say chop from the top. Fire Michael Moore. You can sign on to that petition at tinyurl.com/more, MOORE, must go. tinyurl.com/more must go. If you're waking up this morning, I always implore everybody that when you wake up, we offer our gratitude, right? We say our prayers. If you can, steal back some time and meditate a bit, take some breaths. I try to not check my phone for at least the first hour of wake time. Try to do some stretching. But then I also want to implore people to ask yourself, as you're thinking about what you're going to put on, as you think about what's on your agenda for the day, I want you to also think about, what will you do for justice today? What will we do to honor our ancestors? What will we do to forge a world that's better so that it's fit for the inheritance of our children and future generations? So look, signing that petition is one thing that you can do. Quick, 30 seconds, tinyurl.com/more must go. Michael Moore is absolutely responsible for the way that LAPD runs. We've been talking about this massive budget. LAPD continues to gobble up about half of the city's general fund. And with the increase in funding to LAPD based on their new contract, They didn't have to go on strike for a new contract, right? They're now getting about $4 billion a year for LAPD. I tried to do some quick math in my head, and I said, well, if 40,000 people are unhoused in the city of Los Angeles, how much would it cost to just house them? It would cost like $80 million. That's like 2%, less than 2% of the police budget. That is because of the misleadership of Michael Moore. Remember, we kind of just talked about in our earlier conversation, you mentioned that if you're spending $4 billion on police, that's money that doesn't go to community safety programs like Second Call, like Africatown Coalition. It's what invites police into our neighborhoods. It's what enables them to do some of the raggedy stuff they be doing. And if we were somewhere else, I would cuss, right?
Right.
But now I just say raggedy, right? But it's also beyond Michael Moore. So every single Wednesday, and if Baba Keeley were in studio with us, he would yell it. I'm not going to do the Baba Keeley. Every single Wednesday for more than 2 years now, Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, along with partners from White People for Black Lives, Africatown Coalition, ACLU, many others have been saying we must end police associations because we know United Auto Workers is a real union, right? The Writers Guild is a real union.
Yes.
SAG-AFTRA is a real union. The city workers are a real union. Unite Here is a real union. My union, the California Faculty Association, is a real union, right? Kaiser Healthcare Workers are members of a real union, right? All of these folks, we either have had to go on strike or are preparing to go on strike to win good contracts. But instead, the LA Police Protective League simply bullies and bribes its way into massive pay increases. So a starting salary for a cop is $97,000 a year.
Wow.
$97,000 a year. I got a PhD and I've been on my job. I'm a tenured full professor. Been on my job for 21 years. I don't make $97,000 a year. So every week we are chanting down the fake, I'm not even going to say the word union, the police association that's really bullying and bribing elected officials. I say they're pilfering the public purse. And they're caping for even the worst, most corrupt cops on the force. What do you think about this call to end police associations?
I actually meant to forward you a video, I think, last week. I saw, I believe it was hotel workers, and I think the hotel called in the police to bully them. So, I mean, that's like one of the best examples that they're not a part of a real union. You know, from what I've seen over the past few months, I've seen other unions come together and support each other and talk about how to push their agendas forward, but yet you have the violence workers coming in trying to disrupt people that are fighting for a better living wage. But you also said something a second ago that really shows what they incentivize. They put all this money into violence work, but yet they don't incentivize or encourage people in other careers. You know, a person who's looking to go out and do harm, they see, oh, I can make $97,000. That's going to be incentive to be a police. But people who want to teach, people who want to, I don't want to say pick up trash, but I mean, you know, you got folks out there who do. But if more money were put into other areas, then you would encourage people to get out and be more productive, which again eliminates crime.
Look, I'm trying to Google what's the starting salary for a teacher, right? What's the starting salary for a hotel worker? We already know that hotel workers are struggling to get just a living wage, right? Some of them are making, $15, $17 an hour. We know that in the city of Los Angeles, you have to make about $60 an hour for it to be considered a livable wage. And you're absolutely right. I think that, that was really telling, that as real workers are on the front lines, it's police who are called in by the owners that are negotiating against the workers. They're calling in the police to bust up these strikes. Our friend and brother and my spades nemesis, Kendrick Sampson, is on strike. He's part of the SAG-AFTRA strike. Many of you will know Kendrick from TV shows like Insecure. And he talked about how the striking actors can't cross the driveways of some of these studios, or cops are called in on them to bust up the strike, right? Bust up the picket line. Cops are not real workers. They're not real workers. They are not real unions. They are not members of the working class. They are tools for the ownership class to put down workers. And we got to remember that. Which is why we say end police associations. And we protest them every single Wednesday at 4 o'clock at 1313 West 8th Street. When we come forward, we're going to talk about them donuts. That be at our, you eat the cuties, I eat the donuts.
Right.
That are part of the...
Every now and then a buttermilk.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't caught you with those. I like those sprinkle ones. When we come forward, we're going to talk more about LAPD. We're also going to talk about this fool, Kevin De Leon, who's running for re-election. We invite you into the conversation. Our phone number is 800-920-1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance,
plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talent, and donations, Visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And you are listening to First Things First. My name is not Dominique DiPrima. It is Melina Abdullah, and I am honored to sit in Dominique's chair. We wish her traveling mercy as she travels with her child. And I'm in studio with Billion Godson.
Yes.
So we've been talking a lot of stuff about LAPD. We talked some stuff about the Police Association, Los Angeles Police Protective League, but also all police associations, including the Association of Los Angeles Deputy Sheriffs. We know that these police associations are not real unions. In fact, they break up real unions. They bust up strikes. They are siding on the side of those who we negotiate against. They are their protectors, not ours. And so we talked about police associations. We want everybody to join us on Wednesdays as we protest police associations every Wednesday, 4 p.m. at 1313 West 8th Street. Look, I don't agree with police on nothing except that donuts are delicious, right? So we got donuts at our protests. Come out for the free protest. It's a free protest too, with free donuts. If you don't come out for nothing else, come out for the donuts. Every Wednesday, 4 p.m., 1313 West 8th Street. We got a DJ. We got Radical Black Stretch. We got good, really smart people. We got spiritual energy. We got families of those killed by police violence with us every week. We want you with us every week, so come out on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. We've been talking about policing, but as we think about who we are as people and what kind of world we want to build, we also need to directly confront anti-blackness and racism. This fool, Kevin De Leon, who a year ago was caught on tape not just co-signing what Nuri Martinez was saying, the former president of the city council, right? He didn't just co-sign what she said about that black child. He had words of his own about black organizers in particular. He said, they want you to think there's a lot of them. But when you pull back the curtain, it's like the Wizard of Oz, and it's only 25 black people yelling. That's what he said we are. That's what he said you are, Billion. How you feel about that?
Well, 25 black people ran him out his home. So, there lies the power, whether it's 1, 2, 3 of us. But we know there's many more of us who are doing this. And, fortunately, whoever recorded that tape, put it out, allowed us to hear what we've seen for a long time. And it's unfortunate that a person like that has the audacity to think they can actually run and even win again. But that's why the work that you're doing, we're doing now to educate and awake more people, we can potentially block that from happening.
Now, I think he should have gone much earlier. He did not. We want to hear from you. What do you think about Kevin De Leon running for re-election to city council? Our phone number is 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. The anti-black racist Kevin De Leon is seeking to renew his seat on LA City Council.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When is the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
And you're listening to First Things First. My name is Melina Abdullah. I have the honor and privilege of sitting in Dominique DiPrima's chair this morning. I'm in studio with Billion Godson. We're talking about all the stuff that's happening in Los Angeles. Big Phil is calling in. Big Phil, what you got for us?
Seen me many times, big guy. One of my clients is Bobby Womack. Any make a long story short, you know my brother-in-law, Dr. Joseph Holloway, was teaching at Cal State Northridge. Professor, he's retired now, Dr. Joseph Holloway. Well, bottom line, he got to go. Period. He got to go. He disrespect that black race like that. He's got to go. And he's going to go. See, God always reveals the truth. They've been doing that for years behind the closed door, him and the lady, talking about black folks like a dog. But it's finally truth come out, he got to go. So you take care of all of them, keep up the good work. Let's fight on. This is Big Phil. You guys take care. I love you down at the station. And I'm out.
We appreciate you, Big Phil. So Big Phil says Kevin De Leon got to go. Kevin De Leon got to go.
Yes.
What you think, Billion?
It's past time to go. Why he's been there this long, a year, doesn't make sense. So he most definitely must go.
We've tried everything, right? So it sounds like only an election will get him out, right? I'm not a big Joe Biden fan. I'm not a big Joe Biden fan. In fact, I don't think very many people are. I think that everybody who cast that ballot that way did it to vote against Trump. I get that. Most of us are not Joe Biden fans. He doesn't inspire fandom. But even Joe Biden said Kevin De Leon got to go. Right? Even Joe Biden said, get out. There were 4 of those Latinx so-called leaders talking about black people terribly, talking about indigenous people terribly, talking about poor people terribly, talking about renters terribly, which is the majority of this city. We got rid of 3 of them. Ron Herrera resigned, Nuri Martinez resigned, Gil Cedillo's term ended. But Kevin De Leon's been hanging on. And you're right. For 18 days, we camped out in front of his house. We turned it into a massive 18-day long party. The neighbors loved us because we fed them too, right? had good music, handed donuts to the kids in the morning, right? It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And it chased Kevin De Leon out of his house.
Yes.
But it didn't chase him out of city council. So we need this election to get this fool out of city council. We haven't yet, and we're going to probably carry this over into the next hour a bit. We haven't yet been able to get him out of city council. And as a council member, he's been invoking violence, right? We know that he viciously attacked Black Lives Matter organizer Jason Reedy.
Yep.
We know that he's continued to unleash anti-Blackness on Black people, even as he stands for photo ops with the good Negroes who, I don't know why they cutting ribbons with this anti-Black fool. But we'll talk about all of that and how we vote him out, how we get him out, coming forward on First Things First.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing a part of your Tuesday morning